I noticed that people like to hear me talk. So welcome, YouTube. Welcome. You know, so if we really think about it, is therapy a solution to eternal conflict? Which I would mainly view this on the woman, right? The woman, I believe, is the one, because I believe the woman is the one who brings the most instability with her emotional elapses, right? So I would believe therapy will be more for her, right? Men, we don't need therapy. I mean, I ain't gonna say don't need therapy in all cases, but in marriages, no. But if you want to be a leader, you can't marry, and that's just a fact of the matter. It's a fact of the matter because women think they're leaders and think that they got it all figured out, that they can make all the decisions, or their decision making is better than yours, are equal. It just creates a hostile environment. And the men, when it comes to relationships, we want to stir clear of conflict with our women. We men don't like to argue with our wives, our girlfriends, if possible. Now, we will stand up for ourselves, but we just don't like about a bunch of dumb arguments. And a lot of people, a lot of women, or even other men will interpret this as, oh, men shut down in the relationship first. No, we don't shut down first. We learn quickly how to avoid conflict. So when she's talking that shit and saying all that crazy shit, we just, you know what, I'm not even going to go there, because we understand this is only going to go in a circle, blur motion, right? So okay, and then we're going to smoke this blunt, or I'm going to go play this video game, or I'm going to go this, I'll be back. We start avoiding conflict because we understand that conflict brings, a divided house. And a house divided against itself can't stand. So for that relationship or marriage to make it, we need to be together. And arguing draws us far apart. It tears us apart. This is why arguing isn't healthy. And men, we get it quickly. We get it like that. We get it like that. And sometimes we break weak, because words have meaning, and women, they know how to say things that really get under your skin. But of the last, I say 10 years, men have been walking away. They just, hey, let me go. I'm going to go sip on this Hennessy, smoke this blunt. I'll deal with you later. And women look at that as, oh, now you don't want to talk. Oh, so now you want to be not a leader. How can we be a leader if everything I tell you is solution-based, you disagree, or you call it controlling, right? If I tell you, I don't want you going out wearing them tight pants, and that, I don't want you wearing them, I don't need you wearing them fake lashes. I don't want you hanging out with your girls. I think they're 304s. Now I'm controlling. Right? Right? So anytime you try to insert yourself as the leader, she says you're controlling. And then what happens? We end up going back and forth about that a couple times. And the men say, you know what? I'm not going to argue with this woman that I love. There's just no way. But if you marry, you would not be a leader no more. Because the problem with women, they care about wins and losses. They really care about wins and losses, even in their relationships and marriages. Could be a small argument, something small. They want that win. They don't want to be wrong. Even if they're wrong, even if you can prove it beyond a reasonable or reason to doubt, she does not want to accept the L. And men, we learn to take L's even when they're W's. And that then there's a curse and a blessing, right? It's a curse and a blessing. The blessing is we learn to do that. It helps us to maintain a relationship status. But the curse is now when she thinks she's right, she doesn't fix what's wrong, right? She doesn't fix what's wrong. She doesn't. So this is where, you know, she tries to go to therapy, right? And it just doesn't work, right? It just doesn't work. This shit is what you call ongoing consequences. And this is what happened to my boy Jeezy, right? I'm gonna play this little video. But my boy Jeezy married a bad bitch, got with her, you know, and think about it, she was challenging his leadership, you know what I mean? Because she had anger management issues. And then they both went to couples therapy. And he said, that shit didn't work. So let's listen to this video. And this could be just one of many examples of why this shit is so bad.
Dark meat on the side, white keeps me mean and mean. You know, that's why I'm a married white man. That's what I like.
Hold up. What do you mean, dark meat on the...
You know, the custody battle,
Yep.
she did one and everything. Where are things with you and your ex now?
Peace. Yeah, peace, man. I'm all about understanding. I'm all about what's best for everybody.
Yeah.
The greater good. And it just like, I'm just telling you, like my life, I tell myself this every day, like, man, this is amazing.
And this is what us men do, right? We put the family first. We put what's best for everybody, all parties involved. We think for everybody. We just don't think for ourselves. We think for the kids. We think for our peace. We think for the best circumstances. And this is why I suggest guys don't get married, because women think for themselves. They don't care about the family and the husband when it comes to their personal happiness.
Was going through things, and marriage ended in divorce, and it was kind of hard. So yeah, it's what I'm dealing with day by day, you know?
So you guys, this Jeezy and Jeannie My story just went from sad to absolutely insane. After months of messy headlines, court rumors, and cheating speculation, it looks like Jeezy might have found out something that completely flipped his world upside down. According to the internet, new court documents are allegedly floating around claiming that the daughter Jeannie had during their marriage might not be his. And y'all, Jeezy is reportedly furious. Now, before we go there, let's get one thing clear. There are no confirmed court documents proving that claim, but the reason people believe it might be true is because Jeezy's been acting different. He's unfollowed Jeannie, deleted all traces of her on his page, and insiders are saying he's done playing nice. And then, just when everyone thought it couldn't get worse, Mario Lopez's name started trending right next to Jeannie's.
I don't got no enemies. I ain't got no issues. I don't want no enemies. I don't want no issues. I just want peace. I just want joy. And I just want freedom. I love my freedom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it.
As you guys probably remember, Jeannie and Jeezy's relationship was one of those rare love story in real life moments. They didn't need to overshare. The chemistry spoke for itself. From the soft launches to the quiet engagement during lockdown, everything about them felt solid, grown, and intentional. They had that "we've both been through it" type of bond, the kind that's built on healing, not chaos. And for a while, it really did seem like Jeannie had found her safe place. And honestly, this clip from their Italy vacation says it all. They looked completely in love, relaxed, and unbothered by the world. But somewhere after Monaco was born, things shifted. The energy changed. Jeezy started showing up solo more often. Jeannie looked tense in interviews, and suddenly that picture-perfect calm started cracking. And guys, here's where you can literally hear it for yourself.
That because his leadership was compromised. Right? His leadership was compromised. And he had to distance himself. He had to avoid conflict. That's why I'm anti-marriage. I just am. I just don't think if you want to be a leader, don't get married. Because if you marry her, you're marrying her emotions and the way she feels. That's what you're marrying. You're not marrying the representative. You're marrying her emotions and the way she feels. And if she feels like, you know, you need to listen to her, you need this, you need that. Dead man walking. Dead man walking.
Jeezy once admitted that he and Jeannie even tried therapy, but it just wasn't working.
Did you go to therapy with her?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
So you actually addressed it,
Right.
tried to work through it, tried to do the work, and it just was like not happening.
You know.
Because therapy can't solve somebody who has a problem that's eternal. They don't have the cure to anger management issues. Therapy doesn't have the cure to combativeness, right? Therapy doesn't have a cure to selfishness. There is no cure for being self-centered, right? That the therapy is not, it's not like going to a doctor. If you have a cold and he prescribes you medication to get you to the road of the recovery. That's not what therapy is. Therapy is just to try to figure out what it is and give you a solution and hope you guys follow the advice. That's it. But therapy is not a solution. Therapy does not have the cure to internal conflict. A therapist cannot, they can't say, here, take this medication and you're not going to be angry no more. A therapist can't go send you to a psychiatrist to get medication and he said, I'm going to give you this medication so you won't be insecure no more. There is no cure for insecurity or jealousy or hatred or envy or strife, right? There is no cure for that. So this is why when Jeezy said they went to therapy, it didn't work.
It just wasn't working.
Did you go to therapy with her?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Right.
So you actually addressed it,
Right.
tried to work through it, tried to do the work, and it just was like not happening.
You know.
It wasn't.
Once again, right? Therapy does not have this. They do not have the solution to internal conflict. So even when the couple goes to therapy, the therapist is meeting the representative, not the actual person. For a therapist to really take a good assessment, they have to be around the person 24/7 for a while to see. And nobody's going to do that, right? Nobody's going to have that therapist around them all the time. Unless that therapist can be there all the time and see and observe, that's the only way she can make a proper assessment. Still no cure though, right? Just like mental health, there is no cure for mental health. You could just come to therapy, talk about it, and try to come up with some game plans, but there's no cure. They can't say, hey, this is the cure. This is 100% guaranteed to heal, right? So once again, as men, if you want to get married, if you want to be a leader, don't get married. Because her emotions and the way she feels will not allow you to lead. Because remember, when a person relies on emotional, and how they feel, they're delusional. They're way more delusional. And they live in that delusion. They really believe that they're the best person for the job. We all know that women are not the leaders, best leaders, but they think they are. And then now you got to factor in her ego. So you got her emotions, how she feels, and then you got her ego. And that's a recipe for disaster. And this is why the happy wife, happy life thing is why men take that route. It's the only happy life, happy wife, happy life is the only, let me say this, is the only way you can make your marriage last some time. You can't, I'm trying to tell you, you can't go in there being assertive and acting like a boss. Your marriage won't last long. She's going to divorce you or you're going to divorce her because she'll make it unbearable for you. See, men, we don't divorce for petty shit, right? It takes a lot for a man to file for divorce. It takes a lot for men to, it takes an act, infidelity. I mean, I'm talking about you walking in and she in your bed with another nigga, something that tight. Because there are husbands who are forgiving their wives for infidelity all the time. Long as she's cooperative and say, hey, yo, no, I'm not going to do that no more. Men are taking it, it won't be the end of the world. But it has to be really extreme, like you fucked her cousin. She fucked your cousin or your brother, or she got caught fucking in the bedroom or something, right? Or even worse, have a baby that's not yours. You've been raising this baby for 3 to 4 years. These are the risks you run when you're dealing with these women. When you go with a long-term commitment, you will not be the leader because she won't follow your lead. She is loyal to the way she feels. That is what she's loyal to.
Explosive. It was that quiet distance that creeps in before a relationship fully collapses. And by the time people noticed, it was already too late. Because behind those smiles and those matching family photos, something had already started to fall apart. And that's when things started getting weird. Because right around the time the tension between Jeannie and Jeezy became obvious, she popped up guest hosting on Access Hollywood with Mario Lopez. And just to show you what everyone was talking about, here's the clip where Mario's on air complimenting Jeannie, the exact moment that had people side-eyeing their chemistry.
Mama's coming in looking hot today.
Hey, you know, you gotta come to Orlando where the sun is. I gotta bring some of the sunshine. It's beautiful out here.
Who'd you travel out here with?
So I traveled by myself.
Now, nobody's new to Mario. He's been in the game.
Yeah, he was cheek checking. Who you travel out here with? Yeah.
Forever, charming, charismatic, knows how to make anyone feel comfortable on camera. But the internet doesn't do professional chemistry. The second people saw those clips of them laughing a little too easily, leaning in a little too close, it was over. At first, everyone brushed it off. It's TV, right? They're supposed to look friendly. But then the divorce filing dropped out of nowhere. And suddenly, those old Access Hollywood clips started looking a whole lot different. And as y'all remember, in September 2023, Jeezy filed for divorce out of nowhere. No statement even prior to that, just straight legal paperwork saying the marriage was irretrievably broken. He and Jeannie had a prenup, but what stood out was how cold the filing sounded, like there was no emotion left. Sources said Jeannie was devastated, that she wanted her family back and wasn't ready to give up. But Jeezy was reportedly done. And here's where the Mario Lopez rumors came back like a boomerang, because suddenly people were saying that the split wasn't about distance or disagreements, it was about infidelity. Now let's be real, there's no official proof Jeannie ever cheated on Jeezy. But around that same time, multiple gossip outlets noticed how comfortable she looked with Mario. TMZ even reported that there's absolutely no truth to any rumblings of infidelity. But y'all know how this goes, once a rumor starts, you can't unsee the chemistry.
And this is the travesty of marriage. You have to rely on a woman to represent your name on top of respect you. And that's what's not happening. These women are unbearable, man. I'm telling you. My boy Jeezy, you know, he gave up all his options. Put a ring on it. As you know, men believe in nuclear family like a motherfucker. So if Jeezy filed for divorce, that she must have did something way foul.
And when people started connecting the dots between the timing of Jeannie's guest hosting and her marriage falling apart, it got messy. But just when everyone thought the story couldn't possibly get any messier, it did. Because here's where the story takes a dark turn. A few weeks after Jeezy filed for divorce, blogs started claiming that he'd quietly requested a private paternity test. Now, nothing's officially confirmed, but the timing, way too close for comfort. If that rumor was even halfway true, it would mean Jeezy was already questioning whether his daughter was biologically his before the split even finalized. Then came the fake court document rumor, a supposed screenshot claiming test results proved Jeezy wasn't the father. Most likely fake, but the internet ran with it like it was gospel. And honestly, it spread so fast because it felt believable. Jeezy's silence, his deleted posts, and his overall bitterness since the divorce gave it legs. Now, if you've noticed, Jeezy hasn't been the same since all this. The man who used to post motivational captions and family pictures now looks like he's carrying the weight of betrayal. He dropped that emotional open letter album, I Might Forgive, But I Don't Forget, and the lyrics hit too close to home. And while Jeezy was pouring his pain into music, Jeannie was out here trying to hold herself together. In this clip, she opens up about what life has been like after the divorce and how she's been trying to cope with it all.
What are you doing right now? How are you healing? Because you did recently post on Instagram. You said sometimes you need to take a break and disconnect to heal. So how are you healing and how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm taking it day by day, and thankfully being able to have a show like this and to come to work and be able to do something that you enjoy doing, take your mind off of things. And you know, right now I'm just focusing on Monaco. I'm focusing on things that I'm passionate about. And I mean, shoot, when you're surrounded by people, you just get to laugh and, you know, look at the things that you enjoy doing in life. Then you get through it.
Laughter is the best medicine.
And here's where things get even worse. Insiders are saying Jeezy felt like Jeannie played him, that he gave her stability, trust, a platform to grow, and she repaid that with lies. If that's even half true, you can understand why he's raging. So now enter Mario Lopez, the man everyone's been pointing fingers at. After weeks of people tagging him in gossip threads, Mario finally addressed it casually during an interview, saying something like, Jeannie's a great colleague and a friend, but these rumors are ridiculous. He didn't seem angry, just amused. And that's what threw people off even more. Because if there really was nothing between them, why not publicly defend Jeannie harder? Why laugh it off instead of shutting it down? Some viewers thought his laid-back reaction looked like guilt. Others said he was just trying to stay professional and not pour fuel on a fire he didn't start. Either way, his response didn't stop people from talking. In fact, it made them look at Jeannie even harder. After all that, Jeannie started posting cryptic captions about trust, forgiveness, and protecting your peace. She went
and this is the shit. This marriage is a shit fire, man. These women, you know, they know how to get the marriage, but they don't know how to maintain. These women they're just falling short, man. They're underperforming, underachieving, and underdelivering. Because she a bad bitch. So niggas just don't go around divorcing bad bitches just for the fun of it. Or I'm bored. The fuck? 2 or 3 years? That's a fresh relationship. No, she drugged that nigga. She drugged the homie. With anger management issues, always arguing. Now she's, you know, they can't talk. They got to travel separate. They were already, you know, it was already starting. So, you know, and that therapy session, that was just a waste of money. See, women, they want niggas to serve them. And Jeezy's not the type, but dude, you know, that's going to let his woman run over him. He's not that type, right? He's a drug dealer, former drug dealer, alleged. But, you know, boss type guy. I fuck with Jeezy music. White girl, Christina Aguilera. So, but, you know, this is but one of many stories, man. One of many marriages. That's from Tom Brady to Aisha Curry to Jada Pinkett. I mean, we can go on and on and on and on and on. Because, and the root cause of the problem is the women are not emotionally stable. That's the problem. And once again, it's just how they're wired. And men, We have to understand this. If you commit to a woman long term, you're committing to the instability of her emotional roller coaster of how she feels. Plus her ego. She thinks she's the prize. All these women out here thinking they're the prize. Oh, I'm the prize. You know? And it's an illusion. It's an illusion that hurts the relationship. It hurts the marriage because it's self-centered. It's self-proclaimed. And a marriage takes teamwork. It takes both parties, or all parties involved. It does. Can't be one-sided, right? One being dedicated and trying to avoid conflict, and the other one won't conflict. It has to be. You have to be guys united on one front, equally.
Quiet on interviews, stopped posting Monaco's face, and focused on co-parenting. Sources say she's heartbroken but trying to move forward. One insider told Page Six, Jeannie wants her marriage to work. She's devastated that Jeezy filed for divorce. And that's believable, but the damage is done. Once a rumor like the baby isn't his goes viral, there's no PR team big enough to erase that. Even if Monaco is Jeezy's biological daughter, which is the most likely truth, the doubt itself has changed everything. Because once a man feels publicly humiliated, especially someone like Jeezy, it's over. And in case you missed it, their legal battle turned dark fast. Jeezy accused Jeannie of being controlling and secretive, while Jeannie allegedly raised concerns about
Controlling, right? That's what these women want to do. That's what they want to do.
his temper and gun storage around the baby. They went back and forth for months, and in the end, Jeezy won joint custody of Monaco in March 2025. That's when everyone realized this wasn't just about heartbreak anymore, it was about control. And even though the custody ruling looked like a win for Jeezy, it came at a cost. The public sympathy that once surrounded Jeannie was gone. As of right now, Jeezy and Jeannie are officially divorced and co-parenting their daughter. But insiders say things are tense. Jeezy reportedly keeps interactions short and polite. He's moved on to focusing on his music and book projects, while Jeannie's been rebuilding her career quietly, doing lifestyle content and staying close to her daughter. But that baby not being his rumor still follows her everywhere. People bring it up under every single post. Even when she's just sharing pictures of her cooking or working out, it's become the stain she can't wash off. And honestly, I think this whole story says more about how fast people believe scandal than anything else. Because the truth is, there's no verified proof that Monaco isn't Jeezy's child, but that hasn't stopped social media from turning speculation into fact. And maybe that's what hurts most, not just for Jeezy, but for Jeannie too. Because imagine being a mom, loving your baby, and seeing strangers question your entire motherhood online. Still, Jeezy's silence makes it worse. He hasn't defended her, hasn't clarified anything, and when a man stays quiet during rumors like this, people assume the worst. At the end of the day, something clearly broke between them, and maybe it wasn't cheating, maybe it wasn't paternity, maybe it was just trust.
Or maybe it was just consistent disrespect, right? Maybe Jeezy felt disrespected, right? She's trying to control him. She's trying to run him. She's combative. She doesn't listen. She always wants to be right. This is the MO university for all women. Unless, they don't speak English, right? Or, you go to the Philippines and get you one of those super poor Asian girls. But you can't bring them here to America. You gotta leave them over there in the Philippines, right? And marry them over there under them laws. You might have a little bit of a chance to be a leader. But here in America, no chance. No chance, because you're fighting against the power of temptation, right? Women are tempted by power. So let me break that down. See, women know that they're weaker than men, right? And they've always been at the back seat of men. Men have always been at the front as the leaders, all of the glory of being soldiers, being winners, being efficient, builders, providers, protectors, right? We've been always the apex predators of the earth. Men have. And women had to take a back seat to that. But now that civilization has been civilized, and now technology is now the main forefront of income, and when women can now get able to compete, women now want to share, or if not take, the same level of a man. This is what equality is all about. Feminine preaching equality. The woman wants to be equal. So therefore, if she wants to be equal or better, that means if you try to be a leader, she's going to challenge you, because she wants you to see her as you see yourself, right? So basically, she wants to turn you into her bitch. And this is where the conflict comes in the house for a lot of men and women, because the women are fighting for control and power, which is trapped by their emotions, the way they feel, which makes them at times insecure, right? So this comes with, let me get your location, breaking into your phone, figuring out your code, going into your phone, right? Or all these strange things, all this stuff, right? Because women are entrapped to their emotions, the way they feel, and they feel like they need to constantly provoke the man to make sure he stays in check, is a conflict of interest. So now we're at the mountaintop, right, of 2026. Women are now have been achieving, financial literacy, a lot of empowerment, women empowerment, which have now made them unmarriageable. It don't make them good wives anymore. Because now they think, I don't need a man. I can live without a man. Who makes them what? Independent thinkers. Who makes them what? Bad team players. There's no I in we. But because women have achieved in such a way where in this society of economic efficiency among themselves, they have no problem with divorcing a man. They have no problem with, blaming it on the man. They have no problem with leaving a man, because they think that they're better than men. And largely because they think they're the prize. And when you think you're the prize, that means you think everything is supposed to be catered to you. So women aren't looking for men to lead. They're looking to lead the men. When a man goes on a date with a woman, he's on an interview that he's paying for. So, because this power dynamic has flipped, it creates a lot of hostility. A lot of men are upset. A lot of men are, disgruntled, because here's the even the more complicated part. Even the men doing the things like being providers and letting the woman have say and letting the woman interact in a way of equality, the women aren't still reciprocating the emotional support or the sexual need or the or the listening. They're not even. They're like, I don't care if a man come home and he wants his wife to get sexy and twerk on him. She gonna like, what? Even though you might be paying the bills, and you paying the bills, she looks at it as that's what you're supposed to do. You're a man, and I'm entitled to that. And this is why they don't do the little things to try to please their man or their husbands. They don't. And they don't even give them sex all the time. They even deny them sex sometimes. I don't feel like it, baby. Because women understand that in their minds, they're the prize and the men need to be on their time. And this is why the arguments, this is why the men, we become conflict avoidance. We try to stay away from those things. And she just keeps pushing line. The two things are going to happen. The divorce or the happy wife, happy life will be implied. And because women, they don't like to lose. They hate it. I know everybody's sore losers to a degree, but women, there are super sore losers to the extremes you can think about. They want to win every little argument. And they're petty. They won't forget shit. They're going to let you remember everything you did. Everything you did. And if you didn't do nothing, they're going to let you remember the shit they thought you did. That's the thing about women. They can be insecure about some shit that don't even happen. But they taking that as law. You did that, nigga. What? Yeah, you remember when I called you and you didn't answer the phone? You didn't answer the phone, you didn't pick up? You know who was you fucking? Baby, I told you I was at a meeting. I couldn't get to the phone time. Well, how do I know? She'll bring that shit up 3 years later. Because she wants to win an argument. She's trying to check you. So this is what, we're faced with in these marriages, man. This is what you're going to have to deal with if you marry these women. You're going to have to deal with their ego, with their ideology of feminism, with their emotional instability. You're going to have to deal with all that, homie. You're going to have to be a motherfucking therapist, nigga. Okay, you just ain't going to go in there and just I'm going to work 9 to 5, come home, pay the bills, chill, give her some good dick. Bam, listen to her, the shit we don't even care about, but just listen. That's not good enough. That's not good enough. She going to leave you. She going to leave you. Because women you can never satisfy them.
And go, oh, shoot. Okay. I didn't know it was going to take all of this. Game time. Let me try to figure this out. Let me try to see if I can do this and do that and get the card and do this and love her more and balance all this. Women, we meet you and we're like, our idea and our fairy tale is you are Prince Charming, honey. And then we try to get you to fit Prince Charming. And the more you don't fit it, the more y'all end up in my office going, but he doesn't do this. Well, has he ever did it? No, but I always just thought my husband would. Your husband or this man? So are you getting to know who you with? Or are you making this man fit this fairy tale ideology that doesn't even exist anyways? And so women come and lead with fit this, or you have no value. Men come in and go, all right, I'm here and I'm going to learn how to be the best I can for you. And then women do what? You're taking too long. You're not getting there because you haven't fit the box of the fairy tale. They almost always have an amazing husband. But because his amazingness doesn't fit her idea of amazing, guess what? He ain't shit to her. So because he don't fit your tone of red, you gonna tell me this man still ain't red?
And this is the challenge of being married. This is a challenge of being with a woman long-term, period. This is a therapist. She deals with thousands, tens of thousands of married couples. So she has a pretty good assessment of, so her statement is accurate. It's very accurate. Her name is Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. If you want to look her up. And she's not married herself because she's describing herself. Women have an innate ability to be selfish and disrespectful because they think, who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me? They got the letters of law behind them. Right? Women are disrespectful.
Okay, ma, it's big as shit. I know.
You can't change your mind.
Don't let. Okay.
What up? Chill out.
I know. I know.
Chill out.
The fuck?
Chill out. You get upset. Y'all, come on with that.
She yelling at her mom. That's her mom she yelling at. So you think these women ain't gonna yell at their man? Shit, they don't give a fuck about no, but they don't care because when they're in their feelings, they no longer use rationality of logically thinking.
I was married for 5 years, but I was with my husband for 10 years. And I'm gonna be honest, I lost a good man because of my mindset of I can compete with a man. Like,
Okay.
Queen vibes, Princess Treatment. I ain't have to fucking work. I ain't have to do nothing. I'm talking about lift a finger, but my mouth was bad. And I lost a good man. Like,
She said, "Mom,
I didn't have to do nothing. Like everything about him was good.
So knowing that,
I'm taking that L, but I still have to.
So you working on it?
Because it's other good men.
so you working on it?
Huh?
You working on it?
That mouth.
I'm working on my mouth because in my next relationship, I'm going to obey direct orders. I disobeyed every direct order, but I didn't cheat. And I thought like, oh, I'm the perfect wife. I don't cheat. I don't go outside. I don't even get dogged up. But I'm in the house saying, fuck you, suck my dick. Fuck, fuck your mother.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck everybody in this motherfucker. Man, fuck the kids we got together type shit. That's how mad I get. I fucked up a whole marriage. I had the nigga that every bitch wanted.
The crazy thing is,
And I'm sitting here saying that.
And these women have no filter. They have no filter. Constantly, they think they need to do this because they feel like they're the boss. They feel like they need to be heard. And, you know, if they can't be heard, then they get in emotions and they feel they need to be, you know, yelling and cussing and all that shit right there. Because they understand that they can't be checked. They think in their mind, who gonna check me, boo? If you put your hands on me, I'm calling the police. You know? These women, you cannot underestimate them. You cannot underestimate these women. I'm telling you. If you underestimate them, you will marry them. And that's a fact. You cannot underestimate their ability to be savage. Just because they're beautiful, nice bodies, beautiful smile, got some jokes, conversation, that doesn't tell who they are, man. You cannot underestimate these women. Because if you will underestimate them, you will marry them. If you underestimate them, you will think that you will make the dumbass move by overcommitting to them. And I'm saying, why would you overcommit to an unstable creature like that? There, women, when it comes to long term, it is very difficult, man, to deal with those emotions and that ego. And that's just the name of the game. Now, if you're a guy who can accept, you know, if you can accept the conflict and the all the stuff she's going to come at you with, and you're able to go into happy life, then I'll say go ahead and do it. It still doesn't guarantee she's not going to leave you. because it's still a gamble. But the only way you marry, you got to become her bitch. That's the bottom line. That's what happy wife, happy life means. She's Debo, right? That's what happy life, happy life. You, Debo come around, put your chain and chuck your chain, nigga. And if you want to be a leader, stay single. Stay single. If you stay single, you don't never have to worry about a woman leaving you. Right? You don't got to worry about trying to cater to her happiness. You ain't got to worry about another nigga taking your bitch because your woman's emotionally unstable. You ain't got to worry about trying to understand why she's crying about her weight when she knows she can go to the gym. You ain't got to worry about her being easily influenced from her friend group, talking about, girl, you know, you can do better, love yourself. You ain't got to worry about her cheating on you. It's just so much you don't have to worry about if you don't marry a long-term ship these women, man. I'm telling you. And I'm not saying that men, we are built to deal with this shit, but the problem is the women aren't. They will leave you no matter what. Or they will have a baby. They have a baby on you that's not even yours. Or even if they have your baby, right? They'll turn on you, take the kid, and turn the kid against you. But I'm just saying, if you can just want to take that, roll that dice, and some of you guys are, I understand. Some niggas is, but Rufus is here to tell you there are other value systems in women.
I told you I was sorry. I told you I was sorry. Mistakes happened. But
This man discovers children are not his after 6 years. Confrontation erupts on Thanksgiving. A man discovered that the 3 children he had raised for 6 years were not biologically his. The man learned the truth only weeks ago and has been struggling emotionally ever since. He reportedly asked the woman who betrayed him, along with the children, to leave his home while he...
That's the shit you want to avoid. That's the shit. When you get married or in a long-term relationship, these are the risks you're taking. And the homies try to shame you. The homies are trying to shame you. Oh, nigga, you scared. You scared. No, it's called being wise, nigga. I'm not going to walk into a burning house. The fuck? Men, we cannot control these women. And I think that's part of our illusion. We think as long as we pay the bills or we cater to her, that she's going to be the woman through your obedience and you being a good slave, that she's going to be the woman she says she's going to be. That's our problem. We think, oh shit, I could do this. Until you get the divorce papers, or until you find out they ain't your kids, or until you have to act like a bitch. Because feminism is teaching these women, and it's not going to stop. They're the bosses. So they're going to challenge you at every fucking corner of authority. Let's make a bet. Let's make a quick bet. I'll bet you. I bet $1 million. I wish we could put a secret camera in everybody's house that a nigga can't go in his house barking orders. Can't do it. I say 99.9% of homes, niggas can't go in there barking orders. Because the women aren't going for it. They don't want the man. They don't want the man to run the home.
Okay, as soon as we start talking, I need them hoes gone by tonight. Matter of fact, cancel that. Cancel what I just said. Actually, I need them hoes gone before you even text me.
Before you even, bitch, I don't even know you. But this is her ego. These are the women's ego. They feel like they can demand that. You can tell she's the type, she's going to run the show. She's going to put that rope around your neck, nigga.
Why people don't want love is because most women want their bills paid. They don't want love.
Oh.
They got 4 or 5 people because they got more than 4 or 5 bills. And I think as long as we're in this transactional era of time, it's never going to be able to get back to love. We got to focus on the core value of what actually matters inside of a relationship. And we've strayed too far. Honestly, don't get mad at me. I know there's a lot of ladies in here.
I'm seeing all the faces behind you.
It's the truth. You know, honestly, we live in a prostitution era.
Wow.
Why people don't want love is
Well, here's the problem. Women don't live in reality. A lot of women are very, very, very delusional. And so they have these ideas about men in their head, what they want these men to be. It's like they got a movie and they have a cast. And there's a role for this knight in shining armor that's going to sweep her off her feet and worship her and only her for eternity. His eyes see nobody else but her. His phallus sees nobody else but her. And so she wants that man. She finds a man that she likes. She creates this picture. She's driven by sex, and she wants to trap that man to worship her for eternity. And if he does not play to every single thing that she has in her mind, she wants to blow up the world. She wants to set off a detonator to destroy everything around her if things don't go exactly her way. And so what I come to realize is that a lot of men are struggling trying to placate to the delusions of women. Well, here's the
And this is a fact. A lot of men are trying to keep that shit up, and it's hard. You can't maintain it. You can't. That's called trying to keep her happy. Trying to keep her happy, right? Happy wife, happy life. That's what's going on. And I'm going to tell you something. We're not going to change these women. You can't change these women. You can't control them. They won't listen to you. They're not looking for leaders. You can't do it. So you're better off single and have all your power and your freedom. Do not sign up to be a slave. She's looking for a slave. She's looking for a slave. That's what women are looking for. They are the new slave masters. So I'm in the show. Thank you for coming. Hit the like button on your way out. Thank you, guys. Until next time.